And I'm on, eh? My sound is on.
Yeah, I said
Okay, awesome. Okay, hi everyone that's joining on Instagram. I'm Isabel, and here's Charlotte and Basit. They're joining me. You can't see Basit, but he is here. Maybe now and then you can see like one of his long limbs sort of stretching across. I'm just gonna give it a couple of minutes, or a couple of seconds actually, just before we start, just to make sure that everyone can join. We'll be filming this as well for the Yogaground website. Yeah, so what do you need? Grab a brick, if you have a brick, or a big book, like a big dictionary, or yeah, anything that you got at home that sort of resembles a brick, and it's just there to support you. I would say that actually if you do grab bricks, grab 2 big ones, just for the end of the class. You might need a little bit higher support. We're gonna do back bends today, so take your time with these back bends, and sometimes it can be that it stirs up quite a lot of things, so if you just need a moment just to sit down, calm down, just focus on your breath, that's the most important thing, and just do what you can. That's for all yoga classes. You do the best you can, right? Okay. Then let's start in a cross-legged position. We're gonna do some chest openers today, so we're gonna focus on that. So if you just close your eyes, take a moment to bring your attention inwards, and just to feel the body. Then tune into your breath. See if we can start to deepen the breath. Lengthen out each inhale and each exhale. So we're deepening, but we're also slowing the breath down. And then just place your hands onto your chest, onto your heart, where your sternum is. You can just place the hands on top of each other. And we're going to focus the breath into the chest, into that heart space. So just take a moment to feel the breath moving around your heart. You got your hands really on top of the chest there. But see, with your breath, you can move really around your entire heart. So also the tissue and the fascia and the matrix, all the way surrounding the heart. You might feel the breath crossing across the chest. Maybe you can feel those all in the side of your ribs and into your armpits. Maybe you can feel it into the back of the heart as well. Often an area that's quite hard to tap into, as most of the things we're doing is forward facing. It can be quite nice just to take a moment to bring your attention into the back of your heart, that place between the shoulder blades, and feel the breath spreading there. Noticing if there's any tight bits around the chest, shoulders or neck. Any areas where maybe you're gripping a little bit. If you feel such areas, then see if you can move your breath into these spaces, into those points, places, spots of tightness. And see if you can coax that area to let go and relax a bit more. Or to open up, or to liven up. So you're breathing the energy in that area. And release your hands, open your eyes. Come to Baddha Konasana, bring the soles of your feet together. And then we just place the fingertips behind the hips, so you can lean back a little bit. Little bend in your elbows, so you can slide the shoulder blades down the back, and then feel the ribs lifting up and away from your hips. You're really trying to encourage to create space there in your lower back and into your core area. Now see if we can breathe into that space, so feeling all the way through your lower back, all the way to the lower parts of your ribs, moving the breath there. Maybe into those spaces in between your ribs, those intercostal muscles. Maybe you can articulate with your breath the space between the mid-ribs and the lower ribs. So a bit like a coil, like a spiral, or like one of those slinky toys that you can sort of run off the stairs. So you can really lift up and create space between the individual ribs. You can allow the head even to tip back a little bit, if that feels nice. If that doesn't feel so nice for your neck, keep the chin towards your chest. But again, you got choices here what to do. See if you can activate the feet by spreading your toes and pressing the feet together whilst lifting the heart up. Take another deep inhale to lift. Exhale, fold forward. And you just place the hands out in front of the shins. Take your time here. It's not about having to kiss the floor, at least not straight away. So just taking your hands there to lean a little bit forward. Now I want you to feel a sense of space, again, through your lower back. So feel how you can spread your ribs. And then on your inhale, lift them up and away from your hips. And on the exhale, maybe you can fold forward a little bit more. Maybe you can walk your hands a little bit further forward. You can soften the neck. You can even let your face hang a little bit, let your jaw hang. Go for what feels nice. Even if it doesn't maybe look so nice, just allow your face to relax. Allow your jaw to relax. And then slowly use your hands to come back up to sitting. I'm going to use the hands to bring the legs back together. And then come and lay down onto your mat. I'll just change the direction so you have a side view of that. Right, so you're going to lay down on the back. You're going to bend the knees. I'm just going to move my speaker box a little bit. Okay, so bend the knees. Have the feet up off the ground. And then just have your feet in line with your knees or just a little bit below. Activate your feet by spreading the toes. Interlink your fingers and place your hands just behind your head and have the elbows reaching straight up towards the ceiling. Feel that you can wrap your shoulders by letting the outer armpits wrap around towards the front of the body. Take a very deep inhale into your lower back. On your exhale, curl your shoulders and head up off the ground. Lift all the way up. Hold your breath. Push the lower back down. Exhale, twist towards your left thigh. Lengthen your right leg. So we're twisting to the left. We're lengthening the right leg all the way out. Pull belly down. Inhale back to center. Bend both knees. Take a deep inhale. Press the lower back down to the floor. Tuck the tailbone. Exhale, twist towards your right thigh. Lengthen out through your left leg and pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Bend both knees. Hold your breath. Press the lower back down. Curl the tailbone upwards. Exhale, twist towards your left thigh. Lengthen out through your right leg and then activate through both feet. Pull belly down. Inhale, center. Hold your breath. Press the lower back down. Curl tailbone up. Exhale, twist towards your right thigh. Lengthen out through your left leg. Pull the belly downwards. Inhale, back to center. Both knees bent. Elbows reach up. Hold your breath. Press lower back down. Curl tailbone. Exhale, twist towards your left. Lengthen out through your right leg. Pull belly down. Inhale back to center. Hold your breath. Press the lower back down. Press the top end of your sacrum down to the floor. Exhale, twist towards your right. Lengthen out through your left leg. Pull the belly down. Inhale back to center. I'm going to do a little variation here. Hold your breath. Press the lower back down. Exhale, twist towards your left thigh. This time send your right leg straight up towards the ceiling. So right foot moves upwards. Flex the foot. Right hand onto the top of your right thigh. Keep breathing. So you're going to place your right hand onto the top of your right thigh, just where the thigh meets the hips. Take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, with your right hand, you're going to traction the thigh up and away from your hips. You're trying to move the thigh muscle upwards. Exhale, bend both knees, hands behind your head, back to center. Take a deep inhale. Hold your breath, press lower back down, curl tailbone up. Exhale, twist towards your right thigh. Lengthen your left leg straight up. So now the left foot moves up towards the ceiling. Flex your left foot. Place your left hand onto the top of your left thigh. Again, you want to grab the tissue there. Grab your thigh muscle there. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, push the thigh up, away from your hip socket. Press the foot up as well towards the ceiling. And then inhale, bend the knees, come back to center. Exhale, lower your shoulders and head down. Place your feet down as well. Just take a moment to relax the neck, relax the shoulders. Bring a bit more ease again into the neck, into the tissue around. And then just roll towards your favorite side of today. And you can just bring yourself back up. Use your hands to come back up. And then we'll start in our downward facing dog. Now that our core is nicely turned on, just feel that you can create a little bit of space in your core and in your lower back. Spread your hands. It might be nice to pedal through the legs a little bit, bend one knee and then the other. Or maybe bend both knees at the same time and just fold or bounce the hips up and down a bit. Maybe it feels nice just to let the head turn from side to side. So just encouraging yourself to bring a little bit of movement into your downward dog. And maybe this is just tiny. Maybe it's just the movement of the breath. So you can move the breath maybe into the back of the heart here between the shoulder blades. Maybe into those side ribs to get a bit more space there. Spread your hands, press your index finger and thumb down. Now lift your right leg up and back into a three-legged dog. Don't go too high yet, so keep your right hip and level with your left hip. Very nice, and roll your inner right thigh up towards the ceiling. Flex your right foot, and I really feel as if you can push the wall behind you back a little bit more. So you really want to have that feeling of reaching back. Take a deep inhale. On your exhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest, roll forward and hover. Bring the shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, push the right leg back and up. Exhale, right knee towards your left armpit. Come forward, pull belly in. Inhale, send your right leg back and up. Exhale, right knee towards your right armpit. Come forward. See if you can even touch maybe your right ear even. Inhale, lift the right leg all the way up. Exhale, right knee to the chest. And then this time, step your right foot forward in between your hands. You can always use your foot or always use your hand to push the foot a bit further forward. Right, we're going to bend the left knee and just hover the knee above the ground. Place your hands on the back of the hips and then come all the way up. So in a lunge with the back knee bent. And you want to place your hips, move the hips actually a little bit back so that the left hip is sort of above that left knee. Now place your hands on the back of your hips and you can push slightly down into your hips. Inhale, telescope your ribs up. And then use your breath to create space through your lower back. So this is really about length rather than bending back here. Maybe you can even feel that the breath can create again that space between the individual ribs. Now interlink your fingers behind your back. And a little bend in your elbows, especially if you've got very mobile elbow joints. Little bend, squeeze the elbows towards each other. Now start to lengthen the back leg. If that feels okay for your hip, if you need to have a little bend, then feel free to keep that. You're going to move your chest forward. And you're going to lengthen out into our lunge a little bit more. Now keep sending that right thigh forward. Keep spreading the foot. Your right foot keeps spreading the toes. Send your forearms away from your shoulders. Feel your sternum moving further forward. Now, can you have your ribs just up off your thighs? So you're not resting completely onto your thigh. Trying to challenge you a little bit here. And bring your hands down to the floor. We're going to step into plank. Take a deep inhale into your plank. If you want, bring your knees down. Exhale, chaturanga. And then lay down onto your belly. We're going to start with a low cobra. So for that, you're going to bring your hands out in front of your shoulders. And then just reach your legs a little bit further back. So arms are out in front of the shoulders, so hands a little bit further forward. So we're going to create a little bit more of a pull, which we don't often have in yoga, this kind of pulling. Mostly it's pushing. So enjoy your first pull here. Hands on the ground, lift the chest up into cobra. And on your exhale, let your shoulder blades slide down. And then use your hands to drag the ground back. And you feel that your chest is moving forward. Almost a bit like one of those army kind of pulling yourself forward through the mud, that kind of feeling. Or you can find your own kind of image that works for you. But you really want to feel a sense of pulling with the hands. Then feel that your legs can get active as well, so you're pressing the front of your feet down into the floor. And feel your sitting bones reaching back. Take one more deep inhale. And an exhale, lower down, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, send your hips back, downward facing dog. Now can you turn on your legs here in your downward dog? Spread your feet, and then really feel that you can press both the inner ankles and the outer ankles downwards. Let's lift the left leg up and back into a three-legged dog. Keep your left hip in level with your right. Feel the inner left thigh rolling up. The outer left thigh rolling down. Press down with the hands and keep feeling the left foot reaching back. So it's an energetic reach. On your exhale, drag left knee towards chest, roll forward and hover. Inhale, push the left leg back and up. Exhale, left knee towards your right armpit, twist it underneath. Inhale, push it back and up. Exhale, left knee towards the left armpit. Inhale, push it back like you're pushing through thick air. Exhale, left knee towards the chest. This time, step your left foot forward. And if you need again, you can find your own choreography just to bring that foot forward. Little bend in your right knee, hands on the back of the hips, lift your torso up. So you want to move your hips slightly back for this one. So your right hip is a little bit more above your right knee. Hands press down to the hips. Inhale, telescope your ribs. And then just explore with your breath that kind of verticality in your torso. Find the places that maybe today just feel a little bit tighter, or maybe feel a little bit lazy. And wake up those sleepy areas with your breath. Interlink your fingers behind your back. And in this time you can lengthen the leg, you can move the hips further forward, move your chest further forward. Maybe a little bend in your elbows, squeeze the elbows towards each other, and send your forearms away from your shoulders. Then feel your sternum moving forward. Reach back with your right heel, send your left thigh further forward. And then just see if you can lift your lower ribs just up off your left thigh. So not resting here. Very active lunge. Bring your hands down to the floor. We're going to step the right foot forward here, next to the left foot. Have your feet hip-width apart. Take a moment here just to fold forward. Relax your neck, holding on towards the opposite elbows. Invite gravity to help you here, just to lengthen out your spine without having to do much. You can bend your knees, you can soften into your ankles. So we're not getting too rigid here. Just inviting in that flow into everything that we're doing. The movement, but also our mind. And from there, release your arms. We're going to slowly roll up to standing. Press the four corners of your feet down whilst you're rolling all the way up. Maybe it feels nice just to roll your shoulders back. And then step to the front of your mat. Feet can be together. If you have any lower back issues, keep feeling for creating space in your lower back. But also, you can take a bigger stance there. Have your feet a bit wider. Just gives that a bit more stability for the sacrum and your lower back. Take an inhale. Send your arms up above your head. Reach up. Telescope ribs away from hips. Exhale, folding forward. If you want, bend your knees. Inhale, halfway up. Hands can be down or onto your shins. Exhale, hands down, step back into plank. Lower down, chaturanga, option of knees down. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale and exhale, relax your neck. Breathing in. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Inhale, step or hop the feet forward, halfway up. Exhale, deepening your forward folds. Inhale, lift all the way up, send your arms up, reach up. Exhale, dive back forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step or jump the feet back, true plank, chaturanga, elbows in. Inhale, cobra or upward dog, lift the thighs for upward dog. Exhale, moving back. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Feel the top of your thighs moving back. Couple more deep breaths. Now I invite you here to flow the breath around the body and just to use your attention. Where can you send it to? Might be nice to move it really around your upper back and around your shoulder blades. So you feel the shoulder blades spreading and you feel the outer armpits wrapping around. So it gives a lot of stability to the shoulders. Or maybe you want to create a bit more space through your core by moving the hips a bit further away from your ribs. On your exhale, bend knees, look forward. On your inhale, step or jump the feet forward, halfway up. Exhale, deepening your forward fold. Inhale, send your arms up, reach up. Exhale, dive back forward. Inhale, scoop chest up, halfway up. Exhale, step or jump the feet back through plank, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Right, now from here, you're gonna take this into a turbo dog by bending the elbows, hovering the elbows above the ground, squeezing the inner elbows towards each other. So it's like you're about to come down into your dolphin, but your elbows are just hovering above. Now squeeze the inner elbows towards each other and feel the outer armpits wrapping around. So you feel your shoulder blades sliding apart. Press the ground away, take a deep inhale. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump the feet forward, halfway up. Exhale, deepening your forward fold. Inhale, send your arms up, reach up. This time, mountain posture. Exhale, hands down by your side. Chair pose. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale into your chair. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step or float the feet back. Through plank, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra upward dog, drag chest forward. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward for warrior one. Bring your left heel down and then lift all the way up. Now just take a moment to find a position that works for you in your warrior one. Maybe the right foot needs to come out to the side a bit, so you give your left hip space to rotate forward. Now I want you to really activate through your feet, as if you're about to spring off your mat there. So you're pressing down to the floor. Archer, bend your left elbow. Option one, right hand grabs the left elbow. You're gonna lift the back of the arm up. Option two, the right arm goes around. Maybe you use your t-shirt. Maybe you got a long ponytail. You can use your ponytail, or you can use a whatever you have, two hands. Maybe your hands can bind. You don't need anything. Now feel the left outer armpit wrapping around towards the front. Then feel the back of your left arm lifting up, especially if you've got very mobile shoulders. Feel it moving to the side and then wrap it around, rather than just pulling your shoulder backwards. So the back of the arm lifts up, space between both upper arms. And from there, release that bind. Bring your hands down to the floor, step into plank. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra upward dog. Exhale, back, downward dog. Other side, left foot steps forward, right heel down. Again, you can adjust if you want. Warrior one, come on up. Left foot might needs to walk a little bit out to the side. Right hip rolls forward. Now feel this lift from the inner right thigh and your right inner arch. Again, you can feel the four corners of your feet pressing down. Then bend your right elbow for your archer. Option one, left hand grabs the right elbow. And you're trying to find space so the back of the arm lifts up. Or option two, left arm around the back. And you can bind there. It might feel nice actually to feel the back of your skull pressing back a little bit. And just encouraging that softness around your neck and around your throat. If you have a tendency to pull and be a bit jerky with your movement, see if you can consciously make a change here to soften and to invite that flow into your practice. Release your archer, bring your hands down to the floor, step into your plank, inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra upward dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. You're gonna lift the right leg all the way up. This time we can open the right hip, maybe bend the right knee as well. And I just feel the right thigh moving away from the right hip socket. Keep pressing the top of your left thigh back and keep both shoulders wrapped. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest. We're gonna step the right foot forward. Find warrior two, left heel down, lift up into your warrior. Again, activate through your feet. So you're really using your leg muscles here. You need those legs to turn as much as you can in order to find length into your lower back and to stabilize your lower back. Feel your index finger and your middle finger reaching away from each other. And then soften your traps, so soften your shoulders and your trapezius. We're gonna reverse the warrior. Inhale, send left arm back. Create space in the left side of the body. Exhale, left hand onto your left hip, left thigh or lower leg. Inhale, right arm reaches up and over. Now create a side bend here. So allow your left ear to soften to your left shoulder. So it's less of a back bend here actually, it's more of a side opening stretch. Keep sending your right thigh forward. Now we're gonna send the right arm to the right knee, so creating a stretch for the neck, and then lift all the way up. Right forearm on top of the right thigh. Send your left arm straight up, and then roll your left shoulder back. So we're gonna take a chest opener for this. I'll face you for this. You guys can stay here. So your left arm is reaching up. You're gonna roll your left shoulder back, so you're really starting to open your chest. It might even be that the left hand wants to reach away from your left ear a little bit, so it can reach slightly back into a diagonal. It's just encouraging, the tissue there to open. Now press your right forearm down to lift the chest up a bit more. And then breathe into that opening. Look down. Bring your hands down to the floor. Rotate your left heel up, so you're in a lunge position. Left hand down, right arm up. So we're gonna twist. And again, we're gonna create a bit of an opening with the chest. So roll your right shoulder back. Feel the belly rolling away from your right thigh. So you're really trying to spiral the chest upwards. Now from here, we're gonna roll the left heel, the outer left heel down to the floor. And we're gonna slide the right leg all the way back and then step it behind your left leg. Ready for Wild Thing posture. Lift the hips up, lift the chest up, reach your arm all the way up and over. Maybe you even wanna tap the hand down to the ground there. Now we're gonna find our balance back into our side plank. So reach your right arm back up. Bring your weight back into your left hand and your left foot. Now lift your right leg up as well. Step your right foot back to the front of the mat, back into that lunge. Control the breath. Bring your hands down to the floor. Bring your left knee down. Let your hips sink. Earth yourself, ground yourself. Press down to your right foot. Lift the arms up into your crescent lunge. You let your hips sink. And on your inhale, feel your lower ribs moving away from your hips. Find that control back into your breath. Nice deep breath without pushing, without straining. Bring your hands down to the floor, step into plank. Deep inhale. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Left leg reaches up and back. Bend your left knee, open the left hip. Take a deep inhale. On your exhale, left knee towards chest. Step the left foot forward. Warrior two, right heel down, lift up. So use your feet, use your legs here to get grounded. So really feel that you can push the four corners of your feet, pressing down into the floor. You have your middle fingers reaching away from each other, and then allow your neck to soften. So it just all becomes a little bit softer there in the upper body. Reversing the warrior, right arm reaches back, inhale. Exhale, right hand down to your right hip, right thigh or lower leg. Inhale, left arm up and over. Now you can use that right hand that's down onto your leg to push down and to lift your lower ribs up and away from your hips. So you're trying to find more length there in your side body. Reach your left hand forward, creating a little bit of a stretch for your left neck. Reach, lift up. Bring your left forearm on top of your left thigh, right arm straight up. So it's like an extended warrior with a chest opener. Take a deep inhale, lift chest. Exhale, roll your right shoulder back. Now you're encouraging that space between your shoulders, around your collarbones to open. Breathe into that space. Feel the tissue around your heart spreading. Look down. Bring your right hand down. Bring actually both hands down. Just spiral your right heel back up. So you're in a lunge position. Right hand down, left arm up. Twisting lunge or easy twisting lunge. Roll your left shoulder back. So again, you can spiral your chest up that bit more. Might even be nice to let the head tip back a little bit. We're gonna roll the outer right heel down to the floor, and we can step, maybe in little steps, or maybe in one smooth movement. The left leg can go behind the right leg. Coming to a wild thing posture, lift your hips, lift your chest, send your left arm forward. Maybe you even want to tap it. Maybe there's a wheel in it if you want. For the wheel, you have to pivot your hands around. Now to come slowly back, so in your wheel, you have to pivot your hand back. We're gonna find our balance back into our side plank. Lift your left leg up, and we're gonna step the left foot back to the front of the mat. All in one smooth motion. I hope you're sweating at home as well. Right, we're gonna bring the back knee down, let your hips sink. Get that control back over your breath. Lift your arms up into your crescent lunge. Now use your breath to go deeper inside and just to feel, where can you move it to? Where can you create a bit more space? So you start to really feel with your breath. Bring your hands down to the floor. Step into plank. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, slowly lower chaturanga. Now hover just above the ground and then lay down onto the floor. Interlink your fingers behind your back. Inhale, lift your chest. Lift your legs. Exhale, send your forearms back. Inhale, now move your heart forward. Exhale, drag your arms back in space. Maybe you can even allow the neck to relax. So maybe the back of the neck can lengthen. Feel your sitting bones reaching back. One more deep inhale. Exhale, release, hands down. Move your hips back. Downward, facing dog. Now on your exhale, I want you to pull the belly up, so lift the belly slightly. So exhale, lift belly, and then step your right foot all the way forward. Bring your left knee down to start with. Coming to a twisting lunge here. So we're gonna this time bring our left elbow over the right thigh. I like to make a fist with my left hand, but you can also just bring the palms together. Reason for me why I'm doing the fist is because it feels nicer for my wrist. But that can be a personal choice. I'm gonna roll the right shoulder back. Spread your toes of your right foot. And now encourage your breath to move into the back of the body. It might feel nice to extend the back leg. Reach your left heel back. Maybe you feel like, want to have a little bit of a balancing challenge. What's quite nice is if you bring your gaze just out to the right foot, just in front of the right foot, and then shift your weight forward a little bit, and then just see if you can lift your left foot up off the ground. It might be a little bit of a tap dance there with your left foot. But it's quite a nice little bit of a balancing challenge in there. Sometimes there's a weird swing involved in it. But just see the fun in it if you fall over. Step the left foot back down. Bring your hands down to the ground just to find a little bit of support. Keep the left heel reaching back and the chest moving forward. Lift all the way up into your lunge. Interlink your fingers, and we're gonna go for a lunge with brain cradle. So the hands are gonna go just behind the head. Go where the neck and the head meet. Place your hands there, then squeeze the elbows. So again, we're using the back muscles a bit more. And then inhale, lift the heart up. Exhale, let your head tip back into your hands. Keep using your legs to feel the floor whilst you lift the heart up and lift the back of your arms up as well. Now you can use your hands to traction the head away from the base of the neck. So you're trying to find a bit more length there. Keep squeezing the elbows and keep feeling that space through your lower back. With your hands, bring your head back up. Bring your hands down, back knee down, going to pigeon. Right foot walks across. And see if we can just square out the hips a little bit more. Great, now this might be how far you're going here. Now in case you can stay here, use your fingers. If you feel that it's uncomfortable for your hip, you can bend the back knee a little bit, that's fine. Or this is where your yoga prop comes in handy, and you just create a little bit more height underneath your right bottom. Right. Now we're gonna take a pigeon with an encouragement of chest opening. So this could be sitting in your pigeon, pressing the fingers down, and then just lifting the heart up. Then you want to encourage the breath to lift all the way from your hips up into your chest. So it's a little bit like, I always think like a lava lamp, where it sort of just moves around the entire torso. Maybe you want to stay here, just work with your breath, go into feeling. Maybe, if you want, you can bend that back knee, your left knee, and you can just with your left hand grab the foot. Now it stays a chest opener, so in that case you can keep moving your heart up. Be careful that you're not twisting in towards your left side. Keep the chest coming forward. Maybe you want to take half a brain cradle, so the right hand can go behind the head. It might be that you want to take it into a royal pigeon, so in that case your right hand grabs the foot, left hand comes around. Squeeze the elbows like you did for brain cradle. So any of these options, make sure you use your deep breath to keep feeling the sense of spaciousness and to keep connecting to feeling. If you're in your royal pigeon or brain cradle, you slowly release your back leg. Use your hands just to create a bit of a lift there, just to lift the hips up. And then from there, we're going to step back into plank. Reach the heels back, take a deep inhale. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra upward dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, lift your belly, step your left foot forward. Going into our twisting lunge. We're going to start it with the right knee down. Lift your right arm up. Inhale, feel for space. Exhale, right elbow over your left thigh. You can even use your left hand there to push the thigh forward. Left hand onto your right. Maybe you want to make a fist with the right hand. Roll left shoulder back. Now feel with your breath into the back of the body. Maybe you want to extend the back leg. And if you want, you can do your balancing challenge by maybe looking down. You want to keep that fold there from belly into thigh, and maybe you feel that you can lift that right leg up. There might be some wobbles. That's okay. Keep the focus there. Or if you lose it, just come back. Lower right foot down. Release the hands. Hands down to the ground. And from there, we're going to lift up into our lunge with brain cradle. Interlink the fingers. Now, just check out the grip that you're doing. You have one index finger on top, which usually is our habitual grip. Change that around, just for the fun of it. So bring the other finger on top. So you're changing it across. One. Bring the hands back behind you, behind the head. Squeeze the elbows. Inhale, lift ribs, lift chest. Exhale, let your head tip back into your hands. Ground down to your legs. Move your hips further forward. Lift your ribs up and away from your hips. On your inhale, bring your head back on top of your spine. Bring the hands down, finding your way down into your pigeon. It's a good thing if you're sweating a lot. A pigeon will feel hopefully a bit sweeter here. Okay, so again, this is a different side. So feel what feels good for your knee or for your hip. Sit up onto a brick to create a bit more space. If you feel that you're tipping a little bit to the left side, or if you need a bit more support for the knee, you can also bend the back leg if that feels better. Option one, fingertips is down, and you're going to lift your chest up. And you're going to use your breath to feel for spaciousness all the way around your spine and all the way around your heart. And think of it as a very three-dimensional thing. Option two, you're going to bend your right knee, and your right hand's going to grab it. Maybe you want to hook it into your elbow, left hand down, lifting chest up. Again, you tip forward a bit, come forward with the right side of the body. Maybe the left hand onto the back of the left head, just behind your head. And you have your half brain cradle. Now maybe the left hand grabs the foot, and you can flip your grip. So you're coming to your royal pigeon. Squeeze elbows, lift the chest up. Maybe feeling even a bit of lifting from the root there, from your pelvis. And then slowly release. Bring your hands down. We're going to step back into downward facing dog. Move the hips back. Stretch out the lower back. Engage through your legs. Spread your toes. Bring your knees down to the floor. And then just sit your hips back onto your heels. Gonna go for camel here. It can be a nice variation to use a little more engagement to your legs. So for that, you can use your brick. Place your brick between your thighs. You can do it without a brick as well, but it's quite a nice reminder for your inner thighs to squeeze a little bit. Especially if you feel you have any kind of instability in your lower back, it's quite nice to use it as just a little extra. Right, so start with your hands on the back of your hips. So your hips come forward. You press your shins down. I should say, if you have tender knees, fold the mat in half so you got more cushioning. Inhale, lift the ribs, lift the heart. Exhale, just drag your shoulders back. Now from here, you can either keep your hands under your hips and then just lift the chest up. You can also interlink the fingers and bring your hands behind your head for brain cradle again. You'll squeeze your elbows, lift your heart up. Keep squeezing the brick between your thighs. Keep lifting your heart up. Let your head tip back into your hands. You might feel a little bit of shuddering there around your core. That's good. Don't worry about that. Keep pressing down through your shins whilst you move your heart up. Let the head tip back. Inhale, lift the head back up. Exhale, sit down. Remove the brick first and then sit down. Just take a moment to sit onto your shins. Let your arms relax onto your thighs. Maybe even close your eyes. Feel the floor underneath you. And just feel your breath coming and going. Let the breath reassure you just to be here. And just to acknowledge anything that you're feeling, anything that's there. And open your eyes. Come and lay down onto your back. We're gonna take a bridge. Bring your feet down, hip width apart. I'll do this on the side. Let your arms just rest down by your side. Press the feet down to the floor. And lift your hips all the way up into your bridge. Encourage your neck, your shoulders to stay soft. Feel for breathing here into your side ribs, just to get a little bit more of a feeling of broadening and opening into the upper part of the back. Feel your thighs moving away from your hip sockets. Take one more deep inhale, and on your exhale, slowly lower back down. Take a moment just to rest the hips down to the ground. Keep the feet down. If you feel that there's any kind of tightness or any kind of cramp in your lower back, maybe just stay here and just gently move your knees from side to side. We're gonna take one more back bend here. This could be another bridge, as we just did. It could be a wheel, or it could be Viparita Dandasana, which is an up level of wheel. If you can do wheel, then you can go for that next option. But again, just listen to your body, and it might be nice just to stay with bridge today. Right. So we're gonna take yogi's choice. You can choose. All poses start the same. So your feet are hip width apart, or maybe a little bit wider if you need to. So for bridge, you're gonna just lift your hips up. It might be that you wanna interlink your fingers. For your wheel, you're gonna bring your hands next to the ears, lift all the way up. And then you stay here in wheel. For Viparita Dandasana, you bring your head down. You interlink your fingers behind your head. You press your forearms down so the head lifts up off the ground. And you move your chest through your arms. Any of these options. Take your time. Breathe. If you're in that last option, you bring your head down to release your hands. And then you lower slowly down from either your wheel, your bridge. All the way down. Just take a moment to relax the hips down, relax the back. Keep your knees bent. It might be even nice to let your knees come together so you create a bit more space in your lower back. Maybe rest your hands onto your belly so you could just feel the breath. Or one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. If you feel you need to, you can always windscreen wipe your knees a bit from side to side. Walk your feet hip width apart again. And then just place your hands onto the top of your thighs. Just say where the thighs meet the hips in those folds there. You press your hands onto your thighs. So you can move the thigh tissue a bit away from your hip socket. And then breathe into your ribs. So on your inhale, you feel your ribs moving away from your hips. On your exhale, feel that you can pull your belly down. We did it a couple of times. Inhale, spread the ribs away from hips. Exhale, pulling belly down. Trying to encourage to find space in your lower spine. Right, and just release that for a moment. We're going to use our brick here, or your book collection, whatever you have there to support you. And we're going to come to supported bridge, just to bring the legs up. So, now if you can take the full height, or the longest height of the brick, just by lifting your hips. And you place that brick just underneath your sacrum. Now make sure that you're balancing it on the four corners of the brick, so you're not in an unstable position. You can go lower if your back likes that more. So again, you just customize it to what your back wants and needs here. And just see if you can lift your legs up towards the ceiling. Now you're acquiring a little bit of an arch there in your lower back, but that's quite nice actually after back bending. I mean a very gentle arch. You can allow the chest just to open, the shoulders just to sink down. Maybe explore flexing the feet a little bit so you get more of a stretch to the back of your calves and your toes are reaching more towards your shins. Or maybe feeling that you can press the balls of the feet more upwards. Just keep encouraging the neck and the shoulders to soften. Just noticing your breath come and go. Keep working with that breath control. So there's no pushing or straining of the breath. There's that nice gentle flow within that breath. We're going to slowly bring one foot back down by bending the knee, placing the foot down, and then bring the other foot down. Lift your hips up off that brick, and then you can just allow your hips to come back down. If you feel that your lower back just needs a little bit more release, if it feels a bit tight, keep your knees bent, and maybe even let the feet be a bit wider than your hips, and let your knees fall together. If your lower back feels quite all right, then lengthen your legs out into Shavasana. Create a bit of space between your legs. Create a bit of space between your arms and the rest of your body. And then close your eyes. Letting go of Ujjayi breath. And just let your breath do its own thing. But we can still observe it. Still feel it coming through our nose, moving around the body. And feeling how it leaves again. And take a moment just to follow the journey of the breath, follow that process, without feeling the need to control it. You're just staying with it. Noticing and following the breath with your attention, you might notice that other things start to appear. Thoughts, feelings, sometimes images or memories, sensations. Just notice these things that come up. We don't have to hold them back. But don't get attached to it. So and give it space for these feelings, these thoughts to go again. If you find it hard to let go of a certain thought, sometimes just reminding yourself of the breath, just noticing the breath again, or just feeling your body laying down can sometimes help to let go. So we're using that breath as a way of reassuring us, again, just to be here and to relax. You might want to stay here for longer, so if you have a bit more time, just let the video run out and give yourself some longer time in Shavasana. If you want to end the practice here with us, then slowly move your fingers and your toes, just to gently bring back a little bit of movement. You can take a stretch out if you want. You can bring your legs together, maybe reach your feet away from your hips or hug your knees in. Then roll towards your right side. And just take a moment to curl up into a little ball onto your right side. Keep the neck soft. Then use your hands to come back up to sitting. Just keeping that encouragement for the neck and the spine to be soft. Slowly coming back up to sitting. And keep your eyes closed for just a little bit longer. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Maybe let your hands rest onto your heart. And then feel the heart pressing up towards your thumbs. Just feeling that for that connection there between the hands and the heart. Even letting the chin drop down slightly to feel for a connection there as well. Chin resting towards the heart. Feeling the back of the heart opening. And then open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.